Just like the sunrise needs the sky, just like the blackbird needs to fly, I gotta have you by my side, 'cause you make me feel alright.
Hello one and all, and welcome along to 5 Half Time 10 the Winner. This is your brand new football podcast covering topics from everything ever in football, way back in the day to the very, very modern day. Now, if you're just wondering who on earth I am, I'm Jamie McLean, and I'm joined in the studio by David Fennick, and he's got something quite interesting to talk about today. Hello there, Dave.
All right, Jamie, how are you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. How are you doing?
Are you excited?
I am. I don't know what to expect from this podcast, I've got to admit.
I think that's good though, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, I know. Well, this has largely been your brainchild. This show. I'm delighted to come on this. I'm delighted to come on this journey with you, of course. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. So, explain to us first of all. The first question people are going to have is, what on earth does 5 Half Time 10 the Winner mean? So, do you want to? Because you came up with that name.
Yeah,
so
well,
you.
To me, it was when you were growing up. You know, playing around the park, playing under street lights. And that, you know, and we always just used to play 5 Half Time, 10 the Winner.
Yeah.
Game could last 3 minutes, or you could be getting shouted at off your mum and dad to come in at 11 o'clock at night, you know, so... Yeah.
So, how did you used to play that? Was it that 5 goals became half time, or when one team hit 5 goals?
Yeah, whoever scored like 5, like...
First team to 5
reach
goals.
5, yeah, and then 10 the winner, you know.
Oh, well, there you go. And
nail-biting times when it was 9-all.
Oh, I know, I remember. God, the next goal, the winner.
When in the house, if you'd got beaten, like, you were angry, like, it meant a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was, well, that was the very early days of passion in football, that one, competitiveness. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, delighted to be here, Dave. What sort of thing would you like to talk about today? Because I know you've got an idea in mind.
I'm going to talk about dogs in football.
Right, okay. So I know now you warned me this was off the wall, but you are hearing my reaction.
Well,
genuinely.
You know, it's a worrying trend that's not happening anymore. So my question to you first is, when did you last see a dog at a football match?
At a football match.
We haven't just done that. We can hear a dog barking.
There is a dog barking in the background.
We haven't put that in. That's brilliant.
That was champion. You know? That timing was fantastic. Yeah. I don't know if it picked it up, but I think it did, because we could hear it, and we've got the.
We're going to have to go out and pay that dog outside.
I know. Yeah, we'll go and give it a nice little treat.
So anyway, back to the question: when did you last see a dog at a football match on the pitch?
On the pitch. Yeah. I genuinely don't know. I think
exactly. And basically, I thought that would be the answer. And years ago, you would see dogs sprinting across the pitch. Now you never see one, you know. And I'm not just talking about professional games, you know, the big stadiums and that.
Even at the grassroots.
I'm talking about non-league and even more alarmingly, Sunday morning games. You know, there's, like, I watch a lot of football, you know I do, and I haven't seen a dog run onto the pitch for absolutely ages, you know. And Sunday morning games, I mean...
Yeah, you would think that would be quite commonplace on a Sunday morning, where you got people out walking the dogs in the fields.
Or dogs just out on their own. Say, I think dogs are getting mollycoddled, you know, and dogs should be going out on their own, you know. Maybe it's when they're little puppies and that, you know, fine. But once they've had the jabs and that, the 12 weeks or something, you know, they need to be getting out on their own. Anyway, I've looked into a few reasons for this, and what are the reasons for dog not watching football anymore. So, one, could it be Sky Television? Right? So what I'm thinking is, maybe dogs are just staying at home watching the game
rather
on
than
TV
turning out on match
instead
day.
of getting out to take a game in. So a bit of laziness maybe is creeping into dogs. So, and I think there's nothing worse than stay-at-home dogs just like watching a game on the TV in the comfort of their own living room. I just wonder what you think about that.
Lazy mutts, aren't they? Lazy puppies, lazy dogs.
Sky Television, you think it's...
I think, Sky Television's always going to be to blame. I would say that match day ticket prices are going up as well, though.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dogs
have never paid to get in.
Well, yeah, no, true, but they're not going to want their owners to have to shell out more, you see. So I think, plus the availability of Sky TV there,
I think they are getting lazy, you know. So winter's day, they'd rather just curl up on the sofa, watch the game on Sky, you know, maybe it's a bowl of water down by the side, a bone and that, you know.
Yeah.
But it's worrying. It is a worrying thing. So are dogs getting more spoilt off the owners, as I mentioned before, mollycoddled?
Yeah.
I think this could come into it, you know. Like, owners are now treating their pets like children.
Well, they are.
I think,
I absolutely agree with that. Yeah.
They could be to blame as well, some of these owners, I mean, dogs are getting loads of toys. If you go into a house that's just got a brand new puppy, the toys they're getting is
nearly as much as a kid.
So they're getting that to try and stimulate them instead of getting out into the fresh air and taking a game in, I mean, years ago, especially Sunday morning games would be awash with dogs running onto the pitch, and I've seen it many a times. They're chasing the ball, the referee has to stop the game,
getting involved,
usher them off the pitch, and they'll go off in the packs or twos or threes, but it never seems to happen now, and referee, it was hard for them, but in all that, the dog might cock a leg or something on the pitch, or worse still,
and someone had cheeky,
worse still, someone would have to come with a shovel from the sideline. But no, it's just not happening. And maybe you go around villages and towns, you see these doggy diner places. What are these all about? Doggy diners and pampered pooch and all. Then go for spa days. What on earth is going on,
I know.
Times are changing, But you mentioned about tickets, which I think dogs have never paid for tickets, really. But maybe I was thinking updated turnstiles. So now I've looked into a turnstile goes lower down. Right. So dogs can't get underneath.
Just sneak under.
Can't,
Yeah.
And they can't get into the ground. They could have sneaked through the old turnstiles, but now they can't, So that could come into it. What you think that could?
I've
could
got
be
a question for you about the doggy turnstiles. Are these going to be at the same place as the people turnstiles?
Oh yeah. Well, that's where the turnstiles
do you just lower
were.
the turnstile? But then fully grown people might be able to get over the turnstiles.
Well, the old rickety turnstiles, there was a big gap at the bottom, and the dog would just go in. But now I think a lot of people have cards to get in, a bit like a credit card. So the dog's got to time it right, and would have to be a canny jumper over the top, and I think the bottom of the turnstile is totally blocked, so that's not an option. So that could be a reason,
discriminating against dogs almost.
Yeah. And then I thought, are these new breed of dogs to blame? Right? I remember when I was a kid growing up, there wasn't that many breeds. Everyone seemed to have the same dog. There was Labradors, there was collies, maybe there's an Alsatian, but there wasn't the variety of dogs.
Like a cockapoo.
Well, I was going to say, this dog, the ones that are mating each other, it's getting beyond a joke. Like, as you said, a cockapoo. So is that a cocker spaniel and a poodle?
Yes.
So you can get Labradoodles, which is a Labrador and all that. And so whatever next. Like, I was thinking, if a Great Dane mated with a Shih Tzu, right? Right, you could have two names for this breed of dog, right?
A Dane-Tzu.
Well, you could either have somebody who'd had 15 pints and a curry.
Yep.
Or you could maybe have Casper Schmeichel after a really bad game.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you get the gist.
Yeah, okay,
you know what I mean? So, anyway, all these breeds, and I think a lot of dogs are becoming fashion accessories, You see models carrying them in the bags, in the handbags and things like that, So I think these breed of dogs, and maybe he's not interested in football, and maybe he's going to fashion shows or shopping or things like that, going out of town shopping centres, So
who's to blame for dogs losing interest then? Because this goes back to your original point.
This is the thing I'm thinking about, and I've tried to study it. I mean, to me, dogs aren't even getting involved in half-time entertainment now.
No,
they're not. There was nothing better at the stadium I go to. Well, it was the old stadium before they built a new one. Than watching a demonstration from the RAF dog or the police dog. What would happen would you'd have this. Well, it was normally a fella dressed up as an old lady with a shopping bag going along. A robber would suddenly appear on the pitch, run, and I'm not a real robber, Jamie. You looked alarmed at me there,
This sounds absolutely horrific.
Yeah, you thought we were going to get taken off air or whatever, but no, it's just people doing
I get that,
the job. And so you'd have an old lady dressed up, and she'd be going along with a shopping bag and that, and then this robber would appear, run onto the pitch with a pistol, bang his gun, take the the bag off the lady, then
Right.
all of a sudden the RAF dog or the police dog, an Alsatian, would be released.
Okay.
And then the anticipation used to be tremendous. And the dog would chase after the so-be robber. And what he did, he would have sort of his arm, a massive padded bandage on his arm, obviously because as the dog was chasing him, he would put his arm up and the dog would lock its jaws on the fella, the make-believe robber, and then tackle him to the ground, and the story ends happily ever after, Lady got a shopping bag back and all that, and he got arrested and that. But if I'm not mistaken, and I don't think I am just making this up, I'm sure there was one time the fella put his wrong arm out. So
there was no protection.
No, and carnage.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not just a pigment of my imagination. But yeah, so even dogs can't get involved in the halftime entertainment, so maybe his health and safety has stopped all this, who knows.
Yeah, in this day and age, quite possibly. It's a big loss to the game,
It is. So basically, at the end of the day, to sum it up, I'm not sure who's to blame. Is it the dogs getting lazy, getting pampered, all this, as I've mentioned? Is it the owners, or is it the football clubs, or is it the authorities? So I'll just leave it with that. And if people want to text in or whatever, or email in, whatever we're going to have, but dogs not at football is a worrying trend.
It absolutely is a worrying trend. And as Dave said, get in touch with your views on that. I mean, we've got the Twitter at WinnerPod. So, yeah, I mean, my take on that, dogs in football, it is a big loss. And you're right, dogs do seem to be showing a little bit less interest these days. It's not something I'd greatly thought about, I've got to admit. Is the sport just not as appealing for dogs anymore? Because there is always that possibility. But
maybe it's our listeners can contribute, Dogs in football, it's a dying breed.